All right, Shalom, Kohalayim, La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Raha Kodash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father. His true name is Yahweh. In the name of His only begotten Son, His true name is Yahweh Shai. In the name of the Holy Spirit, the Raha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Honors and salutations to you fellow laborers out there doing the work in truth and in sincerity, especially during these times. Shalom to the few Akwaf that believe as well. A hearty shalom and salutations to you other laborers and you believers scattered throughout the face of the earth. Whether you be among the heathen and even like the heathen who are the speckled bird Israelites, to the household of faith, which is the elect, I want to say shalom to you all. All right, back at you with another quick Lord with an edifying lesson. And you know, with everything that's going on around the world, you know, recently, this past weekend, you had where Heyman Malone visited the brothers in Cleveland, and you know, of course, that's what he's set out to do. All right, and I'm in the agreement with the apostles and elders that you know he was paid for and set up to come against us. You know, which and you know that's all written in the scriptures. Okay. When you look at what's going on in society, all right, especially, you know, with the guy on my screen, as you can see, you know, Dr. Anthony Fauci, everything he's done to humanity, all right, it's not addressed. See, this man is responsible, all right, as we all know now, for the lives of millions of you American citizens that were coerced and even forced to receive that holy juice. I don't know what else to word it, you know, because you always try to flag our videos, but matter of fact, I'll call it the jumper juice. Okay, all right, this man coerced, and because of his recommendation and lies, you know, they forced many of you American citizens to receive that jumper juice, and now as a result, to millions of you losing your lives because of it, and living with different sicknesses and ailments, what have you, even life-threatening, the ones that are still surviving. Yeah, man, you know, they never addressed this. You know, Heyman Malone and his minions that follow him. All this wickedness going on around us, and they don't address the wickedness, you know, like we do, because they're not for righteousness. They for wickedness. You know, they the ones that hide behind this wicked government, you know, which was, responsible or tasked them to come out and come against the men of the Lord. All right, from the apostles on down. So let's get into this video and see what kind of wickedness is going on. As you know, that this man has been in the hot seat. And, you know, I watched the other day, Elder Malcolm, he pointed out something that was very important, which, you know, he put me in remembrance, because I remember vividly too once he brought it up. I'm like, yeah, you know, former U.S. President Joe Biden pardoned this man before he got out of office, as a president office, and before, you know, this dude was brought up on charges. So that show you that they knew that the truth would eventually come out. Okay, and if you don't know, this man's the devil, man. All right, you can clearly see by what you're getting ready to see in these videos I got pulled up, and Lord willing, it's edifying to the hopefully elect. So without any further ado, let's get right into it.
I want to.
And I want to say, fair use, fair use. Under the 1976 Fair Use Act, my videos are not monetized. I don't receive any compensation off these videos, strictly for, um, commentating and educational purposes. All right. So with that, fair use again, under the 1976 Section 107 Fair Use Act. All right. Let's jump right into it. This is courtesy of Jimmy Dore Show.
Show you that Dr. Fauci on purpose poisoned babies. He on purpose poisoned pregnant women and their unborn babies. On purpose, he did this. On purpose. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't an accident. They weren't going off the best information they had at the time and they made mistakes. Because I'm going to show you that he knew that the mRNA vaccine would poison pregnant women and their babies.
And keep in mind, too, when all these videos that we produce through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to bring light to what was going on with regard to, the so-called pandemic, they took down all of our videos and labeled them medical misinformation. And now, a lot of those videos are lost. Some channels have been taken down, and we found out that, well, not we, but you all out there have been watching, listening, and learning. You're going to find out that we were right the whole time, because Yahweh Bashim Yahushua was basically giving you the truth through the apostles on down to the rest of us. Okay?
So, from Anthony Fauci to Dr. Weissman, hey, thanks for sending this. What did he send? Dr. Weissman. What did he send? One of the leading doctors in the country. He sent him this. I wanted to alert you to some new data we've generated with our nucleoside-modified mRNA NLP. That's lipid nanoparticles vaccine. I attached a current version of a supplement request that has all of the new data. I've been working with a maternal fetal researcher, and we observed that using a dose 100-fold higher than current vaccines and given IV, the mRNA lipid nanoparticles go to the placenta and to the fetus, measured by translation of the mRNA, and cause an immune response in the amniotic fluid. In non-pregnant females, mice, the uterus and the ovaries take up the mRNA liquid nanoparticles and translate the mRNA. We are repeating these studies with human dose levels. And Fauci says, hey, thanks for sending this. So when was this? This was February 8th. So he was warned about this. He was given a red flag by one of the leading doctors in the world.
And this is information that they kept from you. This is information they kept from the public. Why? Because these people that you look at, that's in these, political seats, the people you see that's promoting health, whatever, that look like so-called white men. And not all so-called white people are Edomites, but that's the normal look of an Edomite. Now, Edomite can look like other nations, but I say it to say this: the nation of Esau, Edom, is ruling, and they're the wicked in the Bible. Okay? And these people, all they can do is evil and wicked things to the people. This is their MO. This is their whole mindset. Okay? This is something that's embedded in them. Okay? Proverbs 4:16. Well, I'll start at 14. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it and pass away, for they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause something to fall. And you look at what this dude have done. All right, he's caused millions to fall. All right, and good for them. All right, that's of the house of Israel that followed him. Good for you. All right, because we warned you thoroughly. All right, we warned you thoroughly about this man being the devil. I'm talking about Esau in general, but in particular, we warned you about what was going on in 2020. All right, the so-called pandemic. We warned you. All right, and you didn't hearken to the words of the messengers of the excuse me, of the messengers of the Lord, which the messengers of the Lord, which are the men of the Lord. We're giving you direct counsel from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, from the apostles, bishops, and elders, and brothers on down, man. Okay? Verse 17. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. Exactly. All right? And you see that wickedness is sweet in these devils' mouth, man. Okay? They came up with some shit that not only caused the lives of millions to be taken, all right, but even with the women that were coerced or forced to take the jumper juice, now it's come out that what? Not only her, but her baby, if a woman be pregnant, all right, is basically through. Okay, they're through, man. They both affected by her taking the jumper juice. It affected her baby too, as you see the reports come out of the clip that was played on the Jimmy Dore show. Okay. And the M to the R to the N to the A, which restructured your DNA. Okay. Designed to go past your immune system, within your blood, or just your immune system period that fights these different diseases and things like that. And what they have done to you? You see a lot of people drop dead, man. A lot of people have dropped dead, man. And they always hitting the cause of those individuals that drop dead. Especially like these big athletes. I remember the Buffalo Bills, I think it was a safety, Damar Hamlin. A healthy young man, probably was like 23 years old. Tip-top shape, best shape you could be in for a young man, especially as an athlete. This man dropped dead before the whole world, all right, in the middle of a fucking televised game. Just collapsed, not from a hit or anything. He just collapsed on TV, man. Went into a coma. I remember that, and I remember even Jake was trying to speak out, but they couldn't really say too much because they already sold out. So they couldn't really say nothing because the elites are silenced them. But this dude dropped, and the reason why he dropped because he had the jumper juice in him, as well as others. Bronny James. This dude was fucking just getting out of high school. He getting ready to go to USC, I think. His ass dropped, his ass went to a cardiac arrest. Why? Because they trusted their enemies, man. And the scriptures say what? To never trust thine enemy. Let's get this. Because you got guys as in Israel, call themselves leaders, all right, that are fooling you Israelites to trust this devil. And history show you this man cannot be trusted. Sirach or Ecclesiastes 12:10. Never trust thine enemy. For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. So the scriptures tell you not to trust your enemy, right? But then you have it where guys like General Yohana, all right, you know, he's telling you what to take the jumper juice. I'm gonna prove it too. Let's play the clip. This is the leader of ISUPK.
Let's be real. I want to be real about something with these vaccines since the whole vaccine jumped off today, right? So I want to be real about it. First of all, everybody should take the vaccine.
And you can see that sucker ass look on his face, man. You know, that's a sucker ass look on his face. Because he know deep down, this is the same look you see them jakes that in the entertainment world, knowing they sold out and they get other jakes to sell out. They got that soulless look on their face. They know they doing wrong and shit. This the look of those jakes on General Yohana face. Because he know he fucked up. Like my man said on Men's Society. He said, you know you fucked up, don't you? I think his name was Bill Duke. You know you fucked up, don't you? Yeah, you fucked up. Because look at him, man. He's telling you to trust your enemies.
I want to be real about something with these vaccines since the whole vaccine jumped off today, right? So I want to be real about it. First of all, everybody should take the vaccine, okay? Stop that bullshit about this, the vaccine. Right. Now on the flip side, I understand why black people don't want to take the vaccine. Black people don't want to take the goddamn vaccine because they don't trust your white ass.
Right.
That's what it.
So if you know that the reason why it's like I'm in the parking lot, so you probably hear a little noise here and there from cars. But again, if you know that Jake know not to trust this man, why would you persuade Jake to trust this man after all the proof that Jake need is right there on why they shouldn't trust this man? And then you wonder why the apostles on down say you guys sold out. So again, Ecclesiastes 12:10, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. And if you know how iron break down, it's going to always rust and go back to its burglary elements, man. So for sure, you're going to see rust. It says, so is his wickedness. So I don't care how fucking soft-spoken he come at you, how friendly his words may appear to be, the so-called white man, which is Esau Edom, he is your fucking enemy. And anybody tell you otherwise, they going to fuck off. Okay? Let's keep reading. Verse 11. Slack. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. Exactly. Okay? So though he humbled himself, or he pretending to be humble, it says to take good heed of him. Okay? And to know what? That his wickedness is going to show up, man. Okay? Let's keep going. Verse 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he had overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Right? You know? You don't trust this goddamn man. And those of you that trusted him and you in the spirit world now you fucking know. I'm talking about you Israelites out there, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American that is sent from the house of Israel. Jacob, right? Now you fucking know. Now you in your right mind. Okay? The ones you still living, that's between you and the Lord. All right, verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent? Right. And Esau is a goddamn serpent, man. He's that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan. He's the adversary, man. Devil means deceiver, slanderer, and Satan means adversary, man. The so-called white man is a physical counterpart of Satan, man. He's your fucking adversary, man. Okay? It says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? All right? So there you go, man. Let me go down here. Let me read this verse right here, verse 17. It says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. Right. They scared the fuck out you. It's a pandemic, right? You should get this. It ain't been tested like traditional, so-called traditional medicine. But you should take it anyway. The test trials were failing. Had a high fatality rate, which came out during that time, and they flagged all our videos. Now it came out that what? We were telling the truth all along. Okay? Because why? That's the Lord showing you. Okay? That this man's your fucking enemy. It says, if adversity... No, what? Let me start at 16. Slakia. Verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips. But get the jumper juice. So you can prevent contracting the CV-19, right? And what happened? Old, young, children, what have you, were dropping dead. All because they listened to those sweet words that Esau was pitching to him to take the jumper juice, and now look at him. It says, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. And you see this man responsible for the lives of millions, man. He responsible for the lives of millions. And guess what? He ain't gonna be in trouble. Which I'll get there a little later. Because he already was pardoned. Dr. Falsify was. And then he's still pleading the fifth. Might as well tell the truth. They can't charge him because of what? I think it's double jeopardy, something like that. Double jeopardy. Excuse me. But yeah, man. Shalakia. I don't know who's calling, but call me back. But yeah, man. Dude got pardoned. Shalakia. Hello? Hello? No, let me call you right back. All right. Oh, fuck, man. Shalakia. Anyways, it says, I'll tell you, man. It says, where I'm at, Shalakia. Verse 17, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. And that's what happened, man. Okay? He undermined millions of people. A lot of you Israelites that, that took the jumper juice, now you going back to the spirit world, some of you still here. And I'm not ashamed to say it, because these I got two siblings. We share the same mother, and these are my they're a lot younger than I am, but they got that shit, man, put in them, and what happened was with both of them, they bugged out. They bugged out. You know? And you know, it was hard to watch because basically you can see like this, you know, you can see their spirit was just basically just through. I was like, man, shit. You know, I was like, I hope the Lord just go ahead and take them. You know, if it's his will. You know, because shit, they through. You know? And they know about this truth. You know, they know about the truth, man. All right? They know they got a older brother that teach the truth. And warned them. In particular, you know, because it was one of my youngest brothers, one of my youngest sisters. Like I said, we got the same mother. My younger brother that took it, I have forewarned him, man, several times. This motherfucker had a bowling alley job at the time. I said, man, what the fuck are you doing? Don't take that shit, man. You know what's in that shit? I broke it all down to him on multiple occasions. You know, and even our own, it was, you know, surprisingly, but, you know, in the way it was surprising, my own mother told him and, well, them not to do that shit. And because they had just recently been grown, you know, him and her, I think he was just graduating at the time from high school. She had been out of school like a year or so. So, yeah, man. Excuse me. End up doing what they want to do. Now look at both of them. You know? And I don't feel bad for them. And I don't feel bad for them, man. Because you know why? That show you how rebellious and how hard-headed Jake is, man. Okay? But anyways, let's continue on. Like I said, this man is a goddamn devil, man. Okay? He's always looking to overthrow you Israelites out there, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American people, man. That's his whole thing. All right, this is the book of Psalm 64. I'll start at verse 1. It says, and this is a psalm of King David, by the way. Hear my voice, O Heavenly Father, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. And that's what we're asking Yahweh Shai to do for us, man. Okay? It says, verse 2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, right? And that was a secret counsel they had because when you look up Dr. Falsify, he was the one responsible for the HIV/AIDS explosion that happened during the late 70s, early 80s, you know what I mean? The same guy that was testing it on little black orphans, man, which is Jake orphans, you know, and got away with it. Now it's all coming out, man. They let him test on little Jake. It was like 25 of them, little Jake kids. All right, and they perished. I think all of them perished, or eventually all of them died. Some of them perished quicker than others, but they died because he was experimenting on them with the HIV/AIDS, and this some is public information, man. You know, and you could take down my video. I don't give a shit. It's the truth, man. No, Lord willing, they don't, but that's the truth. You can look that up. That's public information, man. They literally let him test it on children, man. Okay? It says, verse 3, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Right. Even the ones that spoke out against the jumper juice, they was assassinating your character by way of the news media. I was, the city I was born and raised in, that doctor, Dr. Tynes, he was on national news speaking out against it. He explained what it was, and he said it ain't nothing serious, and you can treat it by, common cold, using common cold remedies and things like that. There was no need to get, the jumper juice. And they were trying to silence him, man. I mean, he stood around, but they were trying to silence him. And dude's bugged out when it come out the truth. But he cool, Jake. I'll give him that. He know his stuff. Like he know what of Esau's shit not to give people. You know what I mean? I mean, he's good for that. I'll give him that. He's a cool Jake. He know you're Israelite, but he still subscribed to Egyptology, all that shit. And Kemet stuff. So that's why I said what I said. 'Cause I know him personally. He's like a so-called family friend. Okay? But they was trying to assassinate his character. But everybody where I'm from, they know. And then the community he's in, as far as the medical community he's in, that's that know him, that's have recognized him for the works he did. They all respected him because, of course Jake, Jake got a mind to rebel in some kind of way, as far as the Jakes that go against Esau. That ain't they may not have the truth, but they have a mind to not trust this devil, which is it's cool, and they shouldn't. But let's continue on, right? Verse 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not, right? And this is something that these devils been behind for decades. The whole experimentation as far as chemical warfare, especially because when you look at the blessing of Esau, when it says that and by his sword he shall live, the sword, I mean, it's like got a little tongue tied. The sword comes in many forms. This man uses his media as a form of a sword. He uses his weapons as, missiles, what have you, as swords, on down to the gun, right? He used chemical warfare through his so-called healthcare system, and through the food, and through the air, and through the water. It says, verse 5, they encourage themselves, and it's always aimed at us too, by the way. You remember all of the fucking nigga commercials? Juvenile vaxxed that thing up. A lot of buffoonery that was going on, and you could tell that he had a lot of people on the payroll. Verse 5, they encourage themselves in the evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Right. And what the scriptures say, woe unto you that seek deep to hide your counsel from the Lord, right? Let me get that. Isaiah 29:15, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us? And who knoweth us? Well, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh shall see you and know what you're doing. And put it on our spirits from the apostles on down to the rest of us to bring out, and filter through the scriptures what you're doing. See? Back in Psalm 64, in verse 6, it says, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. And that's a diligent search to do, to figure out how to get it even to the fetus of a baby, or the fetus, which is the baby. or through the placenta to the baby, or through the placenta, I'm kind of wording it wrong, through the placenta to the fetus, which is the baby. That's a diligent search, man. The gain of function, research. Remember all that shit, man. And now it's came out that what? Again, the men of the Lord were always right, man. The men of the Lord were always right, man. The true men of the Lord. Not niggas like this, man. Okay?
Let's be real. I want to be real about something with these vaccines since the whole vaccine jumped off today, right? So I want to be real about it.
Suck it.
First of all, everybody should take the vaccine. Okay? Stop that bullshit about this the vaccine. Right. Now on the flip side, I understand why.
See? Double tongue, man. Double tongue, man. Let me get something real quick, man. And this is the reason why Yahweh Shai had to cuss out a lot of his people, bro. Like, oh, man. I think it's maybe in the pocket for Salakia. Let me go here. It's my new app, Salakia. Shit. You know what? Let me go online and get it. Yeah, man. It's crazy work, man. But then, you got guys that, blindly follow these dudes, man. And like, and like we just, the worst among the camps. But you look at who's doing the warning. It's the men of Great Millstone mainly, and the ones that are like-minded. Damn. Man, it's like it should be the search bar on here. I can use this. Bear me 1 second. I'm gonna grab this real quick. I'm gonna grab this precept. Here we go. Let me get that. Okay, let me see. Let's go to the book of Sirach. Ecclesiastes. Let's go to, let me see here. I'm trying to find it. Let's go here. Sirach 5. And I'm gonna start at 14. It says, "Be not called a whisperer, and lie not in wait for with thy tongue. For a foul shame is upon the thief, and an evil condemnation upon the double tongue." Right. So it's an evil condemnation upon the double tongue. Okay. It says also, verse 15. It says, "Be not ignorant of anything in the great matter or small." So ignorant means to not know. So if you're not ignorant of anything, that means you know. Okay? Because why? You did your research, you thoroughly looked at it, right? And the scriptures say this too also, right? Let's get this. Second Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Excuse me. Let me read that again. It says 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Right. So we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. We know what Satan is up to. All right. The physical counterparts of Satan, which is the Edomite, man. Okay. How you gonna tell someone to get the jumper juice and you ain't done your fucking research? Okay. That's you leading the Lord's sheep astray. You got guys that helping lead the Lord's sheep to the slaughter. You know? But hey, the Lord said what? The deceived and the deceiver are his. He said that through Job, man. The deceived and the deceiver are his. So ultimately, the Lord wanted to judge those souls, all right, according to his will. You know? But shame on you fucking guys that call yourselves leaders, all right? And you was encouraging your congregation to get the fucking jumper juice, man. You know? And now look what have you. A fucking a known devil that got away with murder, at least for right now. Because the Lord's going to repay him. The Lord's going to recompense these devils, man. See? And you've been doing so much terrible shit for so long that you think the Lord forgot about you, man. Matter of fact, let's get this real quick. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 8 real quick. In verse 11, it says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. And that's why the so-called white man does what he does. Okay? He does that because he haven't been judged yet. Okay? See, he haven't been judged yet. And so he's doing that because why? He think he's gonna get away with it. Okay? See, right now it's in the power of his hands. Okay? And guess what? He don't know that the judgment for doing that is upon him. It's a particular scripture I wanted to. Let me see. Let me grab something real quick. Yeah. Okay. Let me keep reading. Verse 12. There was something there I wanted to grab. Slack it. Fucking mosquito. Verse 12. Ecclesiastes 8 and 12. It says, though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Lord, that fear Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, which fear before him. Right. And the thing is, see, Esau, Edom, he's not a God-fearing man. Though he write on the system, his money system, or money currency, which is a paper form, and God we trust. He don't trust in the God of the Bible, as we found out through learning the truth. Okay? And you see it, man. All right? And the scriptures say what? The Lord created ministers out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Okay? Verse 13, but it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feared not before the Most High. Right? See, the wicked, though he's been ruling for, some time now, for some centuries, yet, his day of judgment is coming, where the Lord is going to judge him, all right, and going to destroy his kingdom, All right, and ultimately, after he served his 1,000 years of slavery under us, the Israelites, in our kingdom, he's going to be eradicated from the earth as far as the nation of Esau, Edom. Okay, because they're able to get away with all this shit right now with no repercussions, which proves again that they're Cain. Okay, because they can do all this manner of wickedness, and ain't nothing been done to them. Got BB got warrants out for his arrest. Dr. Falsify, he get pardoned before he even could get tried. You know? So, you know, that proves that they're Cain, man. Or the seed of Cain. Cain was known as what? That wicked one. And then who else was known as the wicked in the earth? Malachi 1 and 4, the Edomites, man. Esau, the border of wickedness, man. Okay? And so, Dr. Falsify, he's off the hook, man. Why? Because, you know, that sentence is, is upon you, man. All you goddamn devils, man. Psalm 73, all right, in verse 5, it says, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Right. And so he got pardoned. He got out scot-free from what he did. As for now, nor as it stand right now, under their system. But what about Yahweh Shem Yahushua when he bring that judgment upon Esau? That's when he's going to be judged, man. You know? But again, because you can, like I said, you can see that he's Cain. Okay? All right? This is Genesis chapter 4. Just like you for the noise in the background. You niggas over there. Latin tribes, you know, fucking niggas. I call the tribes niggas, so hey. Anyways, Genesis 4 and 13. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Because after, you know, the Lord told Cain in judgment, right? It was a lot heavier than, you know, any judgment that had been given to any man. Because why? He murdered his brother Abel. And the Lord stripped him of his brown pigment. And then you got everyone trying to kill Cain. All right? And he was cursed from the earth, man. All right? Just read the whole chapter of Genesis 4. Okay? Let's continue on. It says, verse 13, and Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. Yeah, what's a fugitive? Someone that's fleeing justice, man. When you look at a fugitive, right? Let's get the word fugitive. Fugitive, it says, one who flees, a runaway, a fugitive from justice, an outlaw. Right. And that's what the so-called white man is right now on the earth, man. That proves he's Cain, because nobody can bring this dude to justice, man. Or nobody can get justice from this dude doing wickedly into him. He could go around the earth bombing nations, literally dropping bombs on nations. And nobody can touch this man. Why? Because that's Cain. The Lord ain't judged Cain yet. See? The Lord ain't judged Cain. How we do that? Because the wicked is in the earth. When the Lord replenished the earth, even the wicked seed came back in the earth, which is, you know, the Edomites, man. Okay? Back in Genesis 4 and 14, it says, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. And the Lord said to him, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, stripped him from his brown pigmentation. All right. And it says, least any finding him should kill him. All right. So that's why Cain is in the earth today, or the wicked one, which is the Esau, Edom. All right. That's the wicked one and his descendants. All right. In the earth today, they're the wicked, man. Okay. So, we ain't gonna see no justice, being brought to the victims of Dr. Falsify, and ultimately, their day is coming. Okay, because when you look at it, though they're not judged right now, their judgment is coming. Okay, we're not fooled or ignorant of what's going to happen. The Lord has given us the insight on his judgment that's coming. Okay, we're just living out his last days of him ruling. All right, and at that appointed bounds which you cannot pass, the Lord is going to judge him. So, hey, I'm gonna end it right there. Hopefully you were edified. It was longer than I intended it to be, but all praise and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Hey, shalom to the Lord's elect, and I'll see you next time. Until then, I want to say shalom and Abba Babar, shalom to the house of Israel elect.